Hey traders, I hope you are doing really well. Wishing you guys all a great week. And I just want to do a little recap of today's trade. Just very quickly, if I look at last week, my trading last week, I had missed a position on Wednesday, couldn't quite get it, took a loss on Monday, and it was just an unfortunate one. It came out with news, and this had met all my criteria. I just unfortunately got wicked out with news, and then this would be the idea to re-enter on the close. But unfortunately, I got slipped on the position, ended up losing more than I had anticipated. So I opted not to go for the re-entry, and unfortunately, played out. So last week I'd ended the week pretty much down 2R for the week just because of this slippage, so just under 2R. And NFP on Friday, wasn't really interested in trading towards the end of last week. Thursday was a public holiday, Independence Day in the US. I think also voting day in the UK. So not ideal trading conditions. As you can see, this is NFP, 42 pip range on both sides of the market. But what we did yesterday, not yesterday, it was Friday. What we did Friday. Okay, so what we did on Friday is we set a high of the week, and that was high of last week and also high of the previous day. So that becomes a liquidity point. Okay, coming into this week, we then gap downwards, and price obviously closed the gap. And it's to be expected. Generally speaking, the gap will close. And so then Asia came and set a range. Coming into the Frankfurt session, we then took Asia low, and we came into, this in a lower time frame will be an order block, this little wick zone. And then there's obviously liquidity chilling just before the zone. So very valuable trade. To anyone who caught that, excellent, well done. And yeah, so price started pushing upwards. We came towards those highs, and then we took the screen line here as my previous daily high. So it'd be Friday's high, which was also the high of the previous week. Now, on its way up, left an order block, and I was waiting for a sell downwards. So I was waiting for a short on this pair. I was anticipating price taking the previous daily low, but obviously that didn't come, so I just sat on my hands and waited. I do anticipate long-term price will push higher, but this was the idea behind this trade. So we've got a 15-minute point of interest that we've tapped into a few times. We failed to break it so far. Actually, yeah, we started breaking it now. But the idea behind the trade was that price has now left this order block down here, which is in the discount. So we take the range that was left. Let's just do it there. You can see the order block here is in the discount. And so when I start to see price looking like it wants to reverse, that's when I'm wanting to get in for a short. Okay. So going down to the lower time frame, this on the 1 minute now, we started to see there was the early sellers coming into the market, not really taking any major structure. So I would look at this as the last structure. So this was a bit of a risky position, but I was happy with the way it went because this next part here broke that structure. So whoever started selling here, anticipating a move downwards, it really wasn't that confirmation. So I was happy with this confirmation, even though it is on the riskier side because I'm bullish overall. I started to see that breakdown of price. So after taking the high, so after taking that external of the range, external liquidity of the range, we then started to break down. And this break here obviously broke the low. And then we started to see a retracement towards an order block. Now I didn't get in straight away off of this order block. Instead, I waited for that confirmation. So yeah, it starts to break down, starting to take some of that trend line liquidity. And I think when price started returning, I think it was on this fair value gap over here that I'd entered. So I had put my entry just on this fair value gap here. And price pushed up a little further, almost coming to my stop loss pretty much straight away. And when I got the sell-off candle, I was like, okay, cool. I have fairly high belief in this position. And then we sold off here, sort of met the low, and I had this area marked on, and then we just started breaking down from there. Once price had broken these wicks down here, I'd moved my stop to break even. I hadn't taken anything off the table. My original target was down here, but I thought, no, let me rather just go for that 125. I think this position was a little bit more than a 125. Because if this is my point where I think price is going to reverse from and start going up, then chances are I should get out of that position beforehand, because sometimes it doesn't go to the area that you want. Sometimes it'll just go before and then turn around and then start going up. So you got to be conservative with your targets. And I know 125 is not really like the biggest conservative number, but it's a very safe number to take. And yeah, this position played out really, really nicely. There were a few times where I thought, I don't know if this is going to play out, but overall it took about an hour from when I entered to where I exited and bagged 5.8R, which is always nice to do. And that made up for my 2R loss from last week. And so over the past 2 weeks, I mean, it's obviously the start of the week. We still got lots of time, but I'm up 3R. So that's the beauty of the asymmetric risk reward. So going and risking a certain amount, a certain percentage, and looking to make a multiple of that. And this year shows the importance of having good targets. So here I took it out before the zone. And if I didn't, if I was greedy and I was aiming for this to break and this to break, aiming for those London lows, I'd never have got there. And so be happy with what the market offers you. And I'm happy to catch this and leave this little bit on the table. It's fine. I've caught this. I've made my money for the day. I'm done for the day. And I mean, this could be you done for the week. If you want like 5% in a week and you risk 1% per trade and you catch 1 to 5 on a Monday, you can be done for the week. You can be chilling. So just think about that. It's really just a process. Trading is a process, and you've got to be okay with it. There's going to be days when you're going to sit here and you're not going to find a trade. There's going to be a week where it's just a bad week for trading and you take a loss early in the week. You can't find a decent setup for the rest of the week, and you just got to be okay. Let your edge play out. Just execute when you see a setup that makes sense to you. And so I want to wish you guys all the best. Have a great week, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.